Jeff Clark, I've been a driver since 1988. I worked for paper from 1993 through 1999, and I came back here in 2012. It's in this day and age where we have an average industry life expectancy of 3.2 years and a turnover rate of 90%. A million miles is a lot about the company I work for, and maybe I'm a little over now too. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration with an accounting concentration, and I worked in small business, but I graduated college when I was 25 in 1985, and the job market was tight, and it remained tight throughout the 80s, and at some point I needed to get a job that I could rely on a paycheck, and it was always going to be temporary. 34 years closer to retirement. No, I enjoy driving. That's always been my thing, is I enjoy driving. The transportation industry is a challenge, and it's certainly different now than it was in 1998 when I first came to paper in 1993, and I think it's better. If somebody asked me what's the biggest change in the industry, I'd tell them satellites. We used to communicate by CB, and it was a lot looser back in the day. If you saw somebody you knew sleeping on the shoulder, you wake their ass up and they come with you. Nowadays, you take a 10-hour break, and it's a good thing, but it's different than it was. And so, yeah, I've got lifelong friends from the industry, but you used to be best friends for 5 days or 3 days, and that's changed, and I miss that a little bit. But the changes are generally good for the industry and good for the drivers. As people know me, I have been very active in the health side of this business. I think I wish people would have told me the health effects of driving and how to combat them in 1988 instead of 2003. I've seen skin cancer, I've seen, not me, but the heart issues, the obesity-related diseases that drivers are subject to. Staying patient, I think, is the hardest part of being a truck driver, and it's, you can't let traffic bother you, you can't let a uncooperative customer bother you. You have to be over it by the next day, otherwise things build. A bad Monday can lead to a bad Tuesday if you let it, and then by Friday you quit. So that's my biggest thing, is don't let things build. But I was going to go back to 1997, and we are the same company now that we were in 1997, but we still have, I always call it the spirit of Lenny. And it was 1997, my trailer was broken down in Mount Comfort, Indiana, and I called up, and it was bad. It was, an axle burned the wheels off an axle, and it's a major breakdown back then on a trailer. We have better systems now, so that shouldn't happen anymore. And I called up, and Lenny answered the phone, and it's I need to get home this weekend. And he said, Jeff, we'll get you home. Lenny, you don't understand, I really need to be home this weekend. I'm getting married this weekend. And Lenny says, don't worry, Jeff. No matter what happens, you'll be there for your wedding. And I was there for my wedding. And Lenny and Joan came. We didn't invite them. They just showed up. And really appreciated that. I haven't forgotten that not only did he get me home, but then he came to the wedding. And then I remember when I came back in 2012, he always said, I knew you'd come back. So yeah, so I think as long as we have the spirit of Lenny, we'll be a little bit different than any other trucking company.